You are watching No Filter with Debbie. I'm Debbie Schlussel, and these are my views and opinions. Welcome to No Filter with Debbie. I'm Debbie Schlussel, and you know what's driving me crazy? Still the elections. Yes, I know. On Saturday, the media declared that Joe Biden was the winner of the presidential race. And Joe Biden declared that Joe Biden was the winner of the presidential race. But it's not over yet. Yes, I know, and I have said this on the show several times, that it's looking less and less likely like Trump has any way out of this. It looks very likely that Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States. But there are so many instances of what looks to be like election fraud. Now, I know you'll say to me, where are the specifics? Where are the specifics? There are many specifics. In fact, in Michigan, there is an attorney, and we will probably have her on our show tomorrow, who's working with the Trump campaign, and she has identified many instances of what happened at the vote count total in Detroit, downtown Detroit, at the TCF Center. That is the place that you probably saw in the videos with the cardboard covering the windows, and where a lot of Trump supporters were protesting. And for some reason, they had to cover the windows with cardboard so nobody could see what they were doing. What were they hiding? Now, it is true that the city of Detroit, actually, President Trump came out better. He got 5,000 more votes in the city of Detroit this time around than he did in 2016 against Hillary Clinton. And guess what? Joe Biden did not do as well. He got 1,000 votes less than Hillary Clinton did against Donald Trump last time around. But still, there were a lot of things going on there. There was a lot of shenanigans, and we have to get to the bottom of it. Now, I believe there are solutions to this. One of the solutions is let everybody watch. You should have one Republican and one Democrat, and if they want Libertarian or Green Party or what have you, let them watch too. They should have one per table. If there's one person counting ballots at that table, then there should be one of each party. That is how they would resolve it. They should have the windows open. They should have video. We should be able to watch this live streaming. Now, I know that in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, some of it was live streamed. Every single bit of it should be live streamed. And I'm not talking about a video camera from far away. That's useless. You cannot see what's going on. And that was the case with the Philadelphia counting, that they said, hey, it's live stream. What they should have is up close cameras showing every single vote counter, every single one. That way, everybody knows that it is transparent, and so the people who would be likely to cheat won't be able to. And the people who think there is cheating going on will see that there isn't, if there isn't. And if there is, they will be able to see it, and there will be a record. What was happening in Detroit is people were trying to videotape it and take pictures, and they were escorted out, and they were stopped, and we will talk more about that on the show tomorrow. Now, and I do believe, by the way, that every single instance of voter fraud, if they can show it, if they can come up with the evidence, they should pursue it. Trump should pursue it, and he is. The problem is he needs to be able to finance it. And the other problem is that the media and everybody else is in a rush. I'll tell you who's not in a rush: the part of the government that doles out the money for the transition team. The person in the Office of Management and Budget that does that is holding back and not giving Joe Biden all of those funds. The thing is that Al Gore only was contesting Florida. And in fact, he was only contesting one section of Florida, Palm Beach County. He had the option to contest every single county in Florida. He chose not to. And over one county, nobody declared the winner of the presidential elections. None of the press, not Associated Press, not ABC, not NBC, not any of them, not Fox News, none of them called the winner until December 12th, when George W. Bush was declared the winner by the U.S. Supreme Court. So what is the rush now? There certainly shouldn't be. Now, that said, again, I concede that likely Joe Biden will be the declared winner, and the declared winner by every single state when all the voting counts are done. Since everybody seems to believe Joe Biden was the winner, we were treated to some sort of victory party on Saturday night. Now, I watched this thing, and I was just aghast at all the things that went on that they got away with. So take a look at this video, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. All right, so I had a few observations from that. The girl in the black dress that was dancing around and jumping around and had the worst dancing since Elaine from Seinfeld, that was Ashley Blazer Biden. We've talked about her before. She has a history of drug use and of getting around, shall we say, and neither she nor Hunter Biden were ever campaigning for their father. We saw all the Trump kids all around the country the entire several past months. You did not see Ashley Blazer Biden, and you did not see Hunter Biden for obvious reasons. But all of a sudden, both of them resurfaced. Now, Joe Biden, in his speech, talked a lot about his grandchildren, and his grandchildren were remarked upon by all the commentators. Now, Joe Biden, as we have remarked on this show, has 7 grandchildren. Only 6 of them and their parents were up there. What happened to the 7th one? Well, I'll tell you. Joe Biden has not seen the 7th grandchild in the 2 years since she was born. He's never seen her. So for such a nice guy, he just wants to bring the country together. He can't even bring himself to see his own granddaughter. Why? Because Hunter Biden fathered this kid with a stripper. And then, despite being worth millions and probably billions, because we know of all the money he got from Russia and the Chi-Coms, he fought child support in court. I think maybe he's still fighting it a little bit. I know there was some sort of settlement, but he's still trying to fight this. He doesn't want his money to go to his child. He's ignoring the child. And so is Joe Biden. He's not as kind as you think. This child is going to grow up thinking, well, gee, my grandfather's the president of the United States, and how come I've never seen him? What's wrong with that? Yes, indeed, what is wrong with that? Since Joe Biden's whole marketing ploy in the campaign is, I'm a nice guy. He's not so nice if he's going to be that petty. So I saw that. You saw everybody on stage. Yes, many of them or most of them were wearing masks, but guess what? They were not social distancing. There was not an ounce of social distancing going on there at all. Not even close. And Kamala Harris was wearing one of those bowed shirts. They call it a pussy bow. And I don't know if you remember, but during one of the debates during the 2016 presidential campaign, Melania Trump wore a blouse like that. And they attacked her viciously because she's not allowed to wear a bow that has that name, because apparently that's an attack or that's some kind of response about the Access Hollywood tape. But I guess Kamala Harris has a different standard. I also noticed Jill Biden's horribly ugly dress. That floral dress, so ugly it looked like an 80s dress from the Salvation Army. Even your boater grandmother would not wear. The thing that really bugged me, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden saying now your little girl can grow up to say, I can be president someday. Anything is possible. First of all, they already could have thought that. I already thought that when I was a kid. I didn't need to see somebody with the same internal plumbing and biology as me to know that that was the case. That's number one. But number two, as we have discussed on this show, Kamala Harris admittedly had an affair with Willie Brown, a married man, when she was an assistant district attorney in San Francisco, and she used that to get appointments from him to advance her career. So basically you're telling your kid that yes, your little girl or your little girl will grow up to know, yes, I too can become vice president of the United States if I have the right skin tone, because we know Joe picked her because she was black, and if I sleep with the right people to get promotions and appointments on my way up to the top. 4 to 8 years of these people, possibly. Oh my God, God help us. When we come back, I will talk about some of my experience with these lawsuits that the Trump campaign is trying to file, and we'll talk about some of the other things that have happened today in the aftermath of the press calling the election. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Howdy folks, it's a Caroline Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Bossin' breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at a salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous Caroline burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Capital City Restaurant Supply is your one-stop shop for quality restaurant products for the large to small kitchens. Commercial-grade restaurant and bar supplies, limb game processing equipment, refrigeration, dinnerware, and smallware. We sell everything including the kitchen sink from trusted manufacturers for the chef and all of us. Open to the public since 1971, we are veteran-owned and North Dakota proud. Let us take care of your restaurant and home kitchen needs today by visiting us at 1414 Interstate Loop in Bismarck or on the web at capitalcityrestaurantsupply.com.
Beck Communications is honored to be recently recognized with 3 Broadband Now awards. Beck Communications Cooperative was awarded in the categories of Top Internet Speeds Nationwide, Top 3 Fastest Internet Providers in North Dakota, and North Dakota's #1 fastest fiber provider. It's only through the support of our members and customers that Beck Fiber delivers award-winning speeds and service. Thank you, Beck Communications Cooperative members and customers, for your years of continued support.
Introducing Accord Comfort Sleep Systems, a better way to sleep. We offer you 5 different models to give you the perfect choice of support and body comfort. Every model begins with our exclusive Accord Comfort Reflex Layer. This ensures proper spinal alignment and a deep down body relief. Our 8-inch Whisper Breeze provides a medium firm feel, and our 10-inch Gentle Night model has a quilted top, giving you a medium plush comfort. Both use Outlast fabric on the top of your mattress, ensuring that your body temperature is not too hot and not too cold. Our Copper Rest Sleep Series is our premier mattress, offering your choice of firm, plush, and luxury plush. Every model uses copper-infused gel latex and provides all the health benefits of copper. Accord Comfort mattresses are handcrafted in the USA and come with a 60-night sleep guarantee. You're going to love sleeping with us. Order today exclusively at accordsleep.com or Tom's Home Furnishings in beautiful downtown Harvey.
Is your business phone system outdated and expensive to maintain? Most large VoIP companies leave you on hold or struggling through online support and training for your employees. With Beck Connect, you always have fast, friendly, local support. Familiar faces with the know-how to keep you connected. Take advantage of the newest technology in voice calling, video conferencing, and virtual meeting rooms. Beck Connect gives you all the features you need with no upfront investment and no obsolete hardware or software ever again. Simplify your communications. Choose local. Choose Beck Connect.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. Now, a couple of other things that I forgot to mention about that video that we were treated to Saturday night, that victory party, when victory should not be declared just yet. It's kind of premature. Not only, as I mentioned, was there no social distancing, but none of the media mentioned it. In fact, none of the media said anything about it. And yet, when there were events with the president, as we know, he was constantly called the super spreader. People were constantly shrieking about no social distancing. I also noticed, by the way, that Kamala Harris is, I would call him her wife. She is the man in that relationship. I notice her husband is wondering, oh my goodness, where did my manhood go? And now I'm going to have to spend 4 years, maybe 8, looking for it, and I'll never find it. Poor guy. I think he's a captive male slave of this woman. All right, so there are all these lawsuits that have been filed. And as I said before on Friday, the likelihood of President Trump being able to overturn this election is very low. It's very slim to none, in my opinion. It's unfortunate. I really wish he had a much better chance. But the problem is, and this is another thing I would recommend to change in elections, let's say he finds that there are a lot of dead people who voted, as we seem to think there are. It certainly appears there are in my native Michigan, for example, and in other places in Nevada, maybe even in Arizona and Pennsylvania. They cannot match them up, at least in Michigan. The problem is that what they do is they have computerized tabs, and they tear those tabs off once the vote is put into the machine to be counted. So you can't match up the ballot with the dead person that voted. And I believe there ought to be a law nationally. I mean, if there's not a law for this, I don't know what we need a law for. There ought to be a law that there is a computerized tab on every single ballot. Now, I know you're going to say, but Debbie, this violates our right to privacy. Nobody knows who we voted for when we go into the ballot box, into the polls, to the polling place, into the booth. That's true. And you know what? If you want elections that everyone has trust in, where everything can be verified, we're going to have to give that up a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that if there's a barcode, everyone should be able to know who you voted for. They shouldn't. We all know, though, that computerized results get leaked, things get compromised on the internet and elsewhere, and we know that. So that is a problem, but you have to decide, do we want to be able to trace ballots to dead people and get rid of them? Otherwise, I don't know how President Trump is going to be able to prove who voted in which ballot, because in most states in the union, they do take off that tab, so they're not going to know who voted for whom, whose ballot was whose ballot. And that's a problem, because no judge is going to say, okay, there's enough instances of fraud, I'm going to take the entire state of Michigan or Nevada or Pennsylvania or Arizona or Wisconsin, and we're going to hold the presidential elections all over again. There is not a single judge in the world that's going to do that. You won't find that person. If you do, let me know, because I'd love to meet him or her. That is the fairest person of all, but that person just doesn't exist. Nobody wants the whole heavens of the left-wing press and everybody coming down on them. They don't want riots, and you know what the left will do. They'll riot. We on the right do not riot, and we saw that in North Dakota, that they don't riot, and I'll get to that in a minute. Now, and one other thing, I told you I ran for the Michigan House. I lost by 1 vote, and that was in the day of hanging chads, when there was something to look at to show that maybe somebody meant to vote for someone when they didn't really mean to, or when they did mean to. You can figure it out from hanging chads. They don't have that anymore, so there are a lot fewer avenues to show voter intent now that you're filling out ovals and connecting lines and filling out rectangles and all of that. And why do they have all these different systems, filling in lines and whatever? Well, I guess that's diversity of shapes, since diversity seems to be what we have to have in everything in America, whether it's good or not. All right, just diversity for the virtue of diversity. It's just not a virtue. All right, so the other countries, most countries in the world recognize this press declaration, but Mexico, Brazil, Russia, and China are mum. And I think that's the way it should be. No country should make a decision on another country's results. But I understand why all these countries are doing that. They're very afraid. They are afraid the way Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are going to treat them. That is a really legitimate concern, and I don't blame these countries, but that's why they're doing it. Now, today, President Trump fired Defense Secretary Esper, and I think he should have done that a long, long time ago. Esper had already told the press many, many times all kinds of negative things about Trump. This is going back to the summer, to right after George Floyd's death. And even before that, he made statements that were really iffy and not really in support of the president. When you work for a president, you have to support them. If you don't support them, you need to resign. And he should have resigned a long time ago, or the president should have fired him. I don't know why he waited until now. I think he waited too long. And Esper is going to say, I resigned. He already told people, this was the story last week and over the weekend, that he had prepared and submitted his letter of resignation. Another thing that Trump is doing, and this I think is really, really good, he is about to drop hundreds of sanctions on the government of Iran. And I hope that they are not reversed by Joe Biden. Some of these things that the president does cannot be reversed. Some of them can be, some of them cannot. But I think either way, he is putting Joe Biden in a position where Joe Biden is going to have to say, he's going to have to show if he wants to punish Iran for their behavior or not. Now, we already know Joe Biden was 100% in support with Barack Obama, and he helped push this through the Senate of the JCPOA, which was the resolution that confirmed the Iran deal that we had, which was outrageous, paying them billions of our dollars in cash and dropping all these sanctions against them so that they get closer to nuclear weapons. It's horrible. So that is not a good thing. But the president, listen, he is doing a lot of good things. And even if these are his last days of his presidency, whether they are or not, it's not over. It is not over yet. He has at least until January 20th at high noon, all right, to do what he needs to do for his presidency. When we come back, the View hags have spoken. It's not the same as the fat lady sings, but in many of their cases, if they sang, it would be exactly the same. So that and what's going on in North Dakota over the election, after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
I just went in for a regular mammogram and I found out that I had a little tumor.
Through the exam and the biopsy, it was determined that I had cancer.
I got a call from one of my doctors that I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
After 5 years, they found a local reoccurrence.
The first thing you hear when you're told you have a cancer, it's a little daunting because you don't know where to go with it.
Since 1999, in a partnership between CHI St. Alexius Health and Sanford Health Bismarck, the Bismarck Cancer Center has provided the most advanced radiation therapies and holistic support services for cancer patients and their loved ones for 20 years.
I've been at the Bismarck Cancer Center since it started. I actually was in the basement of Med Center 1 before, when we had old machines and old equipment. And thankfully, the two hospitals at the time, St. Alexius and Med Center 1, joined forces to create the Bismarck Cancer Center.
I walk in the door, I get nothing but hugs, and I was marveled at them. I mean, I thought it was the best place in the world.
The staff is unbelievably compassionate, and they explain everything to you.
Everybody's genuinely concerned about your well-being, and the level of care is just top-notch. The Cancer Center just does such an amazing job of helping people.
To me and my family, the Cancer Center means life. It's given me the ability to live out my life with my family, my wife, my children, my grandchildren.
Because of them, I'm 2 years out. Get to move on with my life, make a difference now for other people.
I would recommend this center because the minute you walk through that door, they've got your back.
This center means so much to me and to the people that are in this building, and we just want to keep giving it back to the community and providing for them what they need.
I'm Katie. I've been cancer-free for 2 years.
I'm Steve, and I've been cancer-free for 4 years.
I've been cancer-free for 10 years.
10 years.
11 years.
15 years.
My name is Lainey, and I've been cancer-free for 18 years.
Bismarck Cancer Center, your partner against cancer for 20 years.
Who do you trust with your digital life? Not all cloud backup providers keep your data truly private. Beck Cloud Backup uses advanced multi-layer encryption to keep your family photos, videos, and sensitive business documents secure and only for your eyes. Your Beck Lightband Internet service already includes 50 gigs of free storage to keep your digital life safe and secure. Call us at 701-475-2361 to start using your Beck Cloud Backup today.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So before the break, we were talking about the election aftermath and the declaration by the press that Joe Biden is our next president. And the View hags have weighed in. Check this video out.
They know this means a return of U.S. leadership. You know who has become a crybaby, the crybaby in Wawa Chief. It didn't go our way. Hillary did not whine. Hillary did not whine. She did not say we need a recount. She said, okay, you won fair and square, even when we knew the Russians had been in there. She did not say, well, I should be president now. She didn't. She did what you're supposed to do. If you don't win, then you say, okay, and you fight harder next time, which is what's happening. So there are 73 days before they become the president and vice president of the United States, 73 days. Do you know in Al Gore, in 2000, Al Gore had an actual case, and the difference in Florida, because the Republicans keep bringing this up, the difference was 500 votes, okay?
In one
and it went
state.
on in one state. Florida. So when I hear these people saying, you know, when I hear the Republicans saying, you know, we have to recount, listen, suck it up. Suck it up. This is the United States of America. When our guys win, we gotta suck it up. When your guys win, we gotta suck it. We each have to do what we have to do. That's the American way. So let's at least try to be respectful. Because if you're not gonna respect the fact that all these people came out and voted, you are basically saying you don't care about the American democracy. That's what you're saying. All of y'all who have said, well, I don't know, you know, suck it up.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. This woman is a liar. All right, where can I start? First of all, she's demanding that we be respectful, you and me, when for 4 years, and she just did it again, she will not say the President of the United States' name. All she will say is, you know who. None of them on that show will say his name. They call him you know who. So then they're asking us to be respectful. They called us racist for calling President Obama, Obama. They wouldn't even call President Trump by his name. And since she's black and he's white, so do I get to call her racist? No, I don't. But she's a liar. She was not respectful. Now, one state, 500 votes in one state? No, that is not what happened in 2000 when Al Gore sued George W. Bush. Here's what happened. Al Gore sued George W. Bush to recount one county, Palm Beach County. I said that at the beginning of the show. It was 500 votes in one county. It was not 500 votes in the entire state. And then he whined. That was the reason for the lawsuit, which she doesn't know because she's an ignorant moron. But he sued because he wanted to recount the entire state because he and his lawyers screwed up. They had the opportunity to ask for every county to be recounted in Florida, and they could have done it, but they didn't. They only asked for Palm Beach County, and you know what happened? Then they realized that they screwed up, and it was too late. That's what happens. You make decisions in these races, and things like that happen, and it went till December 12th. So she's just lying to you, or she's ignorant. And frankly, with her, she's both. She is both to the max, all right? That's number two. Number three, Hillary did whine, and we all know it. Look on YouTube. You'll see plenty of forums where she spoke, plenty of shows she did, plenty of interviews she did, where she whined and complained and said, but, I won the popular vote, but, the popular vote. Oh, you know, I really won, I won, blah, blah, blah. And she was whining and she was attacking Americans who voted for Donald Trump. And her whining was so bad that all of the Democrats, no matter whether they were far left or far, far, far left, or anywhere in between the fars of the left, they were all asking her to shut up and go away because they wanted to focus on this year, 2020, and they wanted to focus on their next nominee. She did whine, and Whoopi Goldberg, you're a bleeping liar. You are lying completely on everything you say, so you suck it up. We have every right to seek redress. We have every right to go to the courts. That's what you do in a country of laws and of order. You go to the courts to get results when you see unfairness and fraud. And that is what they are doing. And if you're in such a rush and you're so impatient and you want to take their rights away, then stop talking about how your rights have been taken away or your people's rights have been taken away. We're sick of hearing it. If you don't want the American people's rights to be validated, and frankly, what is your problem with this? If I were somebody that my side won, I would want people to accept the legitimacy of it. And you know what better way there is to get legitimacy? You go through the process. You show every example, that you let the other side show every example they have of alleged fraud and of malfeasance and of voter mistreatment or whatever it is, or dead people voting. You let them show it and you let a court decide. And you know what? If they find nothing, then not only did you win, but the rest of the people have to believe you won. We had Donald Trump winning by the Electoral College, which was the rules. Those were the rules. That was the rule, that whoever got the most electoral votes won. And for 4 years, we heard them whining about, but the popular vote, but the popular vote. And then we heard them saying, but Russia collusion, but Russia-Trump collusion. None of these things had any credence whatsoever. The fact was, Electoral College decides our elections. The fact was, there was no evidence after spending billions of dollars and destroying the whole Trump presidency with this phony investigation. There was no evidence of Trump-Russia collusion. So don't tell me you accepted it and we should suck it up. You suck it up, because we are going to go through the process whether you like it or not. That's the way America works. If you don't like it, too bad. Suck it up. All right, so that's that. Now, North Dakota is of the right frame of mind. So, first of all, the North Dakota Republican Party absolutely backs the Republican Party's challenges. And today, the North Dakota GOP, and right there, that's the rally that happened over the weekend. Look at that. Hundreds of people over there. And our senator, we had Senator Hoeven and that Senator Kramer up there. We had Representative Kelly Armstrong speaking at this event. These were not outliers. These are not fringe. These are our federal elected officials, all right? And they were on the Capitol grounds, and they said, listen, a lot of the people there, this is how you peacefully protest. There was no violence. People weren't burning things down. They weren't attacking people, although they were attacked, and we'll mention that in a second. They weren't attacking people. They weren't looting. They weren't shooting at police officers. No, they were peacefully protesting. That's how Republicans and Trump supporters do it. So listen to what happened. So there was an attack. There was an attack on people at the rally, and they tried to stop them from doing their rally. I mean, that is just disgusting to me. You hear Whoopi Goldberg saying, suck it up. And she is not saying a word about all these people that are attacking these people who have a right to peacefully protest. And they were attacked. You know what? And there were arrests. That's what happened Saturday. And the Republican Party is absolutely right. By the way, the people who attacked the protesters, they also tried to do a citizen's arrest on a rally attendee. Are you serious? You're arresting people for protesting because they're not protesting what you stand for? It's absurd. But the Republican Party said we need to let the courts evaluate the evidence and fight to count every legal vote. Amen to that. 100%. Now, when we come back, we will talk about the U.S. Senate and what is going on with former Senator Heidi Heitkamp. Could she be in the Biden administration? That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
Bismarck Central, 4800.
4800, go ahead.
Requesting social services on-call team.
Stand by. 4800 social services requesting additional information.
You can advise social services that we have an 18-month-old female who was in a residence with a mother, now being transported to medical care for overdose.
Trusting your digital life to faceless tech giants can be risky. Will they keep your family and business information truly safe from prying eyes? If you subscribe to local Beck Lightband Internet service, you already have Beck Cloud Backup. Beck Cloud Backup is the safest, most private cloud storage for all your family memories, schoolwork, and business documents. Call 701-475-2361 to start using your free space on Beck Cloud Backup today.
You just might find the home of your dreams this weekend by watching the Alliance Real Estate Tour of Homes Sundays at 6 p.m. and Wednesdays at 7 on Beck, featuring properties from Bismarck, Mandan, Minot, and surrounding areas. The Alliance Real Estate Tour of Homes presents desirable properties that are for sale, lets you meet your Alliance realtors, and provides critical insights into local happenings from community and business leaders. Join us this Sunday evening at 6 or Wednesday at 7 for the Alliance Real Estate Tour of Homes on Beck.
Today's households have more digital devices than ever before. More links to family, business, education, and entertainment. Beck Communications spent over 10 years building North Dakota's fastest fiber optic internet service. Beck Lightband Internet, outpacing speeds in large cities nationwide. Lightband Internet handles all your digital needs without throttling your connection to the world. Beck Communications, valuable digital connections in rural North Dakota.
Howdy folks, it's a County Line Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Bossin' breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at a salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous County Line burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spur rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the game. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. So everything in the Senate is still a tie. Right now, depending on which media outlets you're looking at and which vote counts you're looking at, and like I said, the media does not get to call it. It appears to be 48-48 right now. And there are 2 Georgia Senate seats. I do believe it's going to end up being 52-48, and I'll tell you why. Because first of all, there's Alaska. It is very much a long shot for the Democrats to get Alaska. Alaska is mostly a Republican state, and I do believe that Senator Sullivan is going to be the next, Dan Sullivan's going to be the senator, so I don't think there's a problem there. North Carolina, right now, 98% of the vote has been counted. And with that 98%, right now, Senator Tillis, the Republican, is up by about 96,000 votes. Now, the problem with North Carolina is this ridiculous law where they allow ballots to be counted as long as they're received by November 12th, as long as they're postmarked on or before Election Day. That's ridiculous. November 12th? And so they're going to have to wait till November 12th to decide this seat, or to finish the counting, or at least November 12th, probably November 13th. And right now there are 117,000 mail-in ballots that have not yet been returned. But I do believe that Senator Tillis is going to pull this out, because in order for his challenger to beat him, he would have, whose name is Cunningham, he would have to win the majority of those 117,000 votes, the vast majority, and I just don't think it's going to come down that way. So that's 2 Republican seats, and then there's the 2 Georgia seats. Now, one of the Georgia seats is Senator Perdue versus this guy, John Ossoff, who is a far left-wing activist, and I want you to see this video of him. Check this out.
He has to win this election. He's not going to win the election as progressive. And that's basically it. At a certain point, we have to wait for like the boomers to die off.
Do you think like the Georgians are stupid enough?
Yeah. You can spread that to like your other progressive friends. Just kind of keep this on low key. On the surface, he tries to portray himself as like left of moderate, so that all the Georgians, all the not us Georgians, but all like the rednecks and all that stuff, will be like, oh, he's kind of cool, but he's not like so far to the left that I'm not cool with that. But deep down, he's like low key like progressive. So it's something that keep you pumped up, especially because I know he's gonna win. He's gonna do what it takes to help us out. I know and then it's gonna take the rest of the states as well.
And John is genuine to a certain point, but he can't show his true self 100% of the time. So that's the tough part about campaigning in purple or red states. Yeah.
Why? I don't.
Because the people here are not open-minded, in a overall sense, right? You have there's maybe 40% of the population who are, or 45, but then the rest are of a different breed or a different kind.
Was running as progressive within the 5th district of Georgia, which is all black. That's the one that John Lewis, the civil rights activist, was running for. He could win that, pretty much a landslide, but he wants to go for senator. Senator, you have to appeal the whole state. Our whole state isn't progressive. It's more moderate, right?
I'm super progressive.
Okay.
And so.
What do you mean, how progressive?
I recently one of my friends sent me this poll, and I read it, or did it, and it called me a libertarian socialist.
Libertarian.
Yeah.
Hey, that sounds awesome.
Not that John is one. It's just that my policy or my beliefs are even.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Just I think he's a low-key progressive, and I'm very happy about it.
He's what?
I like to think that he is, in fact, a low-key progressive, and
He is low-key progressive. I can say that's a fact.
All right, so that's not John Ossoff, but it's close enough. That is his field organizer, Dino Wynn. All right, and that is excellent work by Project Veritas. They constantly get these people to say these things. They're idiots, and they say what they're really thinking. And that's what they are really thinking, the Ossoff campaign. Oh, yeah, Georgia's a bunch of rednecks, but we're going to pretend. We're not going to tell them how progressive we really are. I hope that video gets out far and wide. They need to use that in the campaign. That ought to be a campaign commercial. So that is one of the seats that this is all riding on. And check this video out of currently the Senate Minority Leader, the Democrats' leader in the U.S. Senate, Chuck Schumer. Listen to what he's just saying.
Now we take Georgia, and then we change America.
So why would you want to change America? And what exactly do you mean by change America? America does not need to be changed, at least not in the way he means. And you know what he means. It's exactly what was on the screen. They want to pack the court. They want America to be socialist. They want Medicare for all. They want everything to be just like Europe. And I don't want to be Europe. We left Europe. We broke from Europe in 1776 when we declared our independence. Why would we want to return to what has happened with them? They're a nothing. We are the leader of the free world. At least we were, and we will not be if this kind of socialist, progressive, frankly Marxist kind of takeover of America takes place. And it won't, because like I said, we'll get those 2 Senate seats in North Carolina and Alaska, and those 2 Georgia seats. I do believe the Republicans will win those, and I'll tell you why. Because Georgia is at heart a conservative state, number one. Trump may have lost it, but this was a referendum on Trump. It was not a referendum on conservatism. We saw that all over the country where the Democrats basically lost down the ballot, except for at the top with President Trump. And we don't even know that yet, if he lost or not. It's not foregone conclusion. And not only that, but that's a special election. Democrats don't turn out as much as they do in general elections. Republicans, they turn out in every election, but special elections, Democrats are not very good for that. They came out to vote against Trump. They're not going to come out for this, I don't think. All right, so speaking of the Senate, North Dakota's former Democrat Senator Heidi Heitkamp was on TV this weekend, and she's been in the news a lot. So we'll get to her video after the break, but let me just tell you why she's in the news. So she has been, in the past and currently, a partner with Joe Biden to reach out to the farmers and to rural America. She knows that segment well, being the former senator from North Dakota. And now she's being talked about as being the agriculture secretary in an Obama, see, basically is an Obama administration, in the Biden administration. She's being talked about to be his secretary of agriculture. I think she would be, if she were picked, she would be the first female secretary of agriculture. Now, I don't care about those things because I don't play identity politics and I don't care about people's plumbing. I hate that. Pick the most qualified person. But they're looking at picking her because she's a moderate Democrat. But they're also looking at Marcia Fudge because she would be the first black female secretary of agriculture. So everything is about identity politics with these people in the Biden administration. All right, when we come back, we will show you some video of Senator Heitkamp, which I thought was interesting from this weekend. That and more after these messages on No Filter with Debbie on Beck.
He once won a spelling bee in an ancient language that he did not speak. He is the only man to ever earn extra credit on an IQ exam. His academic degrees are considered legitimate spending currency in 22 nations, 2 principalities, and at Chick-fil-A restaurants in the United States and Western Canada.
I do not always engage with education programming, but when I do, it is the Dr. Duke Show.
Stay educated with the Dr. Duke Show, weekdays at 4 p.m. on Beck News.
Introducing Accord Comfort Sleep Systems, a better way to sleep. We offer you 5 different models to give you the perfect choice of support and body comfort. Every model begins with our exclusive Accord Comfort Reflex Layer. This ensures proper spinal alignment and a deep down body relief. Our 8-inch Whisper Breeze provides a medium firm feel, and our 10-inch Gentle Night model has a quilted top, giving you a medium plush comfort. Both use Outlast fabric on the top of your mattress, ensuring that your body temperature is not too hot and not too cold. Our Copper Rest Sleep Series is our premier mattress, offering your choice of firm, plush, and luxury plush. Every model uses copper-infused gel latex and provides all the health benefits of copper. Accord Comfort mattresses are handcrafted in the USA and come with a 60-night sleep guarantee. You're going to love sleeping with us. Order today exclusively at AccordSleep.com or Tom's Home Furnishings in beautiful downtown Harvey.
Capital City Restaurant Supply is your one-stop shop for quality restaurant products for the large to small kitchens. Commercial-grade restaurant and bar supplies, limb game processing equipment, refrigeration, dinnerware, and smallware. We sell everything including the kitchen sink from trusted manufacturers for the chef and all of us. Open to the public since 1971, we are veteran-owned and North Dakota proud. Let us take care of your restaurant and home kitchen needs today by visiting us at 1414 Interstate Loop in Bismarck or on the web at capitalcityrestaurantsupply.com.
My name is Rich Shook, and I lost my best friend in a grain bin accident.
Some of the emotional scars that when these incidences happen just resonates throughout the community like dropping a rock in a pond. I guess I'll never forget. At least the last moments we shared. That's why I think this is so important to get out there to people, is people think that it can't happen to you, and it can. The time it would take you to just kiss a loved one and your life is over. I believe it's unacceptable.
This message provided by North Dakota Farmers Union.
Welcome back to No Filter with Debbie on Beck. Before the break, we told you about Senator Heitkamp possibly being Joe Biden's agriculture secretary. She probably won't get it because the environmentalists hate her. She supported the Keystone XL pipeline. She also voted to confirm 2 of Trump's EPA nominees, and we can't have that. So she'll probably be opposed, and I'll show you more why she will probably be opposed. Watch this video from this weekend on This Week with George Stephanopoulos.
Heidi Heitkamp, can the president-elect reach out to your state, North Dakota, reach out to that broad swath in the middle of the country that has gone deep red?
I'm going to give you a proof point for what Matt's just saying. 65% of the people in North Dakota think climate change is a problem. We're a big fossil state, we're a conservative state, but yet they see climate change as a problem. They get concerned when they see radical ideas being introduced to completely upend the energy system, because that creates angst in their mind, both economically and in terms of cost of energy. There is a place that you can go in solving these problems that speaks to all sides and does not radicalize important issues in this country. We saw that with the pandemic, which was incredible how masks got radicalized and politicized. We need to stop doing that, and we need to come together, and both sides have to address the concerns that the other side has on solutions for this country. You know, the unity that we have is really unity about what the problems are. It's bringing together solutions that can bring everybody together so that we can walk together and solve America's problems.
I think we have to start out by bringing you and Yvette together.
Yeah, well, she just said radical 3 times. You just called the base of the Democratic Party progressives radical. That is not, I mean, that's a Republican talking point. Progressives want everyone to breathe clean air, even people in North and South Dakota. We want everyone to have health care, even people in rural areas and even people in working class white America. We want everyone to have a chance at the American dream. We're not saying leave people out. We're saying bring people in. But if parts of our party, when we bring home the bacon, as we did just yesterday, call us radical like Republicans did, that's not the starting place of a good family conversation.
She is radical. No, they don't want us all to breathe clean air. They want us all in gulags. They want us all out of jobs and dependent upon government, and we all know it. And see, that is a taste of what she is going to hear from liberal Democrats and what Joe Biden is going to hear. Fortunately, I do believe the Republicans will hold on to the Senate. He's going to need somebody like Heidi Heitkamp to get confirmation from the Senate. So she has that going for her. By the way, I'd love to see this poll where she says 60-something% of North Dakotans, 65% believe that climate change is the problem or is a major problem. No way. I don't believe it. I bet I can find polls that say something completely different. Now, over the weekend, unfortunately, sadly yesterday, Alex Trebek, the host of Jeopardy for decades, he passed away. This guy was a class act every step of the way. He was witty, he was brilliant. I think oftentimes he could have probably competed with the best of his contestants and just really did not miss an opportunity to say something that made us laugh or made us say, and made us think. So check out these videos of his interactions with Jeopardy contestants.
Susan Cole is from Bowie, Maryland, and her favorite type of music is something I've never heard of, but it doesn't sound like fun.
I think it's very fun. It's called nerdcore hip-hop. It's
Nerdcore hip-hop.
Yes. It's people who identify as nerdy, rapping about the things they love, video games, science fiction, having a hard time meeting romantic partners, you know. It's really catchy and fun.
Losers, in other words.
Well,
football 200. Your choice. Do or don't name this play in which the quarterback runs the ball and can choose to pitch it to another back. It's an option play. Ryan?
Football 400.
I can tell you guys are big football fans. Yeah. Tom Landry perfected the shotgun formation with this team. Dallas Cowboys. Do you think we should go to commercial? Ryan?
Take it on to 600.
Okay, by signaling for one of these, a returner can reel in a kick without fear of getting tackled. Fair catch. 2 clues left, Ryan.
800.
These penalties are simultaneous violations by the offense and defense that cancel each other out. And they are called offsetting penalties. Let's look at the $1,000 clue, just for the fun of it. Jimmy?
As Minneapolis' U.S. Bank Stadium prepares to host Super Bowl 52, I'm looking at the Ring of Honor with names from this defensive line that took the Vikings to 4 Super Bowls.
If you guys ring in and get this one, I will die. Who are the purple people eaters. We're going to take a break. I have to talk to them.
What a great guy. Just much beloved. Everybody liked him. You didn't hear about his politics. He wasn't in your face. He wasn't a fame addict. Wasn't on social media saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. Just a class act, and he will definitely be missed. Now, the fact that he only passed away yesterday morning apparently did not bother George Stephanopoulos, because the body was barely cold, and George Stephanopoulos and his agents are already lobbying for him to be the next host of Jeopardy. Really? No way. George Stephanopoulos, you aren't even fit to clean Alex Trebek's shoes. George Stephanopoulos, a fixture of the Clinton administration, a left-wing ideologue, and please, no, he doesn't have anything close to the grace and the charm and the wit of this man. Some people are saying Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. No, I just don't think he's got the wit or the intelligence, the background. Other people are saying maybe the host of Cash Cab. I think maybe he's a better choice. What do you think? Tell us on our Facebook page, on social media. And before we leave, I wanted to talk about the Pfizer vaccine. So Pfizer all of a sudden drops the information that they have a vaccine that works on 90% of the people, or 90% of the time. So Pfizer has this vaccine that they know is a likely success, and they waited until after the election. If that isn't politics, I don't know what is. You know what? If they would have announced this before the election, and back in September, October, when people say they already knew about this, Donald Trump would be the president-elect for certain right now. He would have won by leaps and bounds. He lost because of COVID, because of some other things which we will talk about on this show, some of the things he said on Twitter and some of his behavior, but mostly he lost because of COVID. And if there had been a vaccine, as he said there was going to be, he would have won. Remember, things are not always as they seem. See you tomorrow.